You hear this rattle on cold start on your R36? Let's jump in and find out whether it's timing chain or we need to investigate further somewhere else. Hey guys, so VCDS. We're going to run through and check what our timing chain values are on our R36. So using VCDS, basically what we're going to do is we're going to have our car plugged in, start it up. We're going to go select control module, we're going to go engine and measuring blocks. Now, we're going to check 90 and 91 to check what our values are. So one of the things that we've got to be looking for is there's meant to be only 0.5 degree of variation between the two numbers here. So this is the specified adjustment and this is the actual. So I've got approximately 5 degrees, which is telling me that it's pretty well due. So on the other side, our intake bank, if you look, we've got 18 degrees specified and we're getting up to 21 degrees. So again, about 3 degrees. So that's needing to be done. The other one that we need to look at is 208 and 209. This will tell us our timing chain stretch. Now what we can see here, -6 degrees and -8. So you ideally want these as close to 0 as possible and the spread to be pretty close. The fact that we're at -8, which is at the maximum, this chain really needs to be done, and -6 on the intake, that also needs to be done. It's kind of in dire need, so we're going to have to hop to that reasonably quickly. As you can see from the results, it looks like this definitely needs chains. But just as a curiosity thing, there's a few things that you can actually check that if you get timing chain rattle like that. There's a few reasons why you might be getting it. The first thing you probably want to check is your oil level. If you're low on oil, the timing chain tensioners are oil filled. So if you're low on oil, that can potentially cause an issue with the pressure going to that. Make sure it's topped up. The other thing that I want to try is replacing that upper timing chain tensioner and see how that affects our results. We know where we're at before, but it's something that has been suggested by a lot of people. If you hear any rattle, usually it's the upper chain tensioner that's starting to cause issues. So, or it could also be guides. In this case, given that this has never had a set of chains, I'm willing to bet that it probably needs a full service. So we will be doing that. But let's just give it a go and see what the result is. Now, to get to the timing chain tensioner, the upper one, it's actually just under here. We need to remove this intake tube just here, and that should give us a bit more access to get in there. So I'll remove that and then we'll see how we go. See that bolt down there? That is, well, it's not actually a bolt, that's actually a timing chain tensioner. So we need to undo that and whip that out. Now, it's not going to be an easy one. I can't easily record that. I will post on screen what size it is. Something that you need to be aware of is just next to it is a plastic coolant pipe that has a real common issue with breaking or peeing coolant out because of seal issues. These are readily available on EuroPartsCollective. You can buy them ready to rock and roll. They're pretty cheap. I recommend if you're doing the tensioner, do that as well. So, and this little tube up here that goes to the PCV, that's also a common failure item that will be available in EuroPartsCollective again very shortly. It'll be back in stock. So I've changed the tensioner and we're going to start the car up. We're going to basically check on VCDS what we're going to see as far as what our values are. So let's start him up. So the rattle's gone away rather quick, so it's gotten rid of the noise, but I don't believe it's actually going to solve anything regards our stretch values. So check block 90 and 91 again. And ignore the fact that it wants coolant, as we undid one hose there. It's not going to run for very long. Okay, so we're meant to see about ½ degree change here. Again, we're still 5 degrees out on our exhaust cam, and the other side of things, we're seeing that fluctuate rather drastically from the 18 degrees, so it's bouncing back and forth probably about 7 degrees, which is not what we want to see. Next thing that we want to have a look at is 208, which is our stretch value, and we want to have a look at 209. So yet again, it hasn't actually changed our stretch values whatsoever. It just tells us that, okay, it's made it a little bit less noisy, but I really wouldn't recommend just replacing that upper tensioner unless you know that the chains have been done recently. Or when I say recently, very recently. So if you've got a slightly weak tensioner, that's why you'd see a little bit of rattle on cold start. So you can resolve it that way, but it still doesn't change the fact that your timing chain will still need to be done. Alright, so as you've seen, even after replacing the top chain tensioner, whilst the noise goes away, it doesn't actually fix our chain stretch values. So it really, really needs to be done. So the next step for this engine is going to be to rip it out, get it on the floor. We'll change the chain. We need to do the PCV as well because that's clearly an issue on this engine because you can hear it huffing and puffing. We've clearly got a rocker cover leak as well. Whilst we're in there's a whole heap of other bits and pieces that we'll be doing. So in a follow-up video, we'll be doing that as well. So, but hopefully that's at least informed you how you can check it with VCDS. So this car needs some chains. Any parts that you need, if you're looking for timing chains here in Australia, make sure to check out EuroPartsCollective. I'll leave the link down in the description. And yeah, check out what they've got in stock. They've got chains, they've got water pumps, pretty well everything that you need to be able to do a chain job. So yeah, check them out. Make sure to like, subscribe, and if you want to see more of this, follow along because the next thing that you'll be seeing is this engine coming out. We'll be doing a video on getting the front bumper and crash structure off the car, and basically as we get into it, doing the timing chain itself. We're also going to do a comparison between a Febby Bilstein kit and a Hepu timing chain kit and what I like from both and what I don't like from both. So we'll check that out as we go through. There's plenty of stuff that we need to be adding to this. I'll also be doing a video of all of the parts from EuroPartsCollective that we're going to be throwing into this vehicle, and yeah, we'll go from there.